guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin, and today we are back at guys for Viking Valhalla. Episode 3 from season 1.
The Marshes.
Ooh.
Last episode.
They finally sailed for England.
Yes, after, I'm gonna have to remember the names. Harald came up with an idea, so Leif would have to basically fight with them in England to buy back his sister's bounty. So, in order to free his sister, he needs to go to war. Yeah. He did that because, Harald wanted him. He knew he was a good fighter. He knew he was a good captain.
A good sailor.
Yeah, so he put him in charge of one of the ships and they got there. There was a little issue where, one of the Vikings went against one of the Christians and both ended up dying. And but Leif really showed everyone that he was in charge and he was capable of doing what was necessary to keep, the ship under his command.
He was capable of being a Viking.
Yeah. And meanwhile, in England, they are preparing to receive them, and they are preparing well because the Vikings want to attack from the south, which is something that should not be possible. And they think they're going to surprise them, but Queen Emma, who's a descendant of Rollo...
I'm loving it.
Yeah?
I knew she was badass for a reason, and I know why.
From Normandy, she's in charge. Her husband has just died, so her stepson is going to be the new king, King Edmund. And she's preparing the defenses, and she's also preparing them, for in the south. She's not focusing north. So that shows that she came up with a good strategy and she saw them coming, and that makes her interesting to me. Mm-hmm. I think she's pretty badass already, and I want to see more from her.
In the meantime, Leif's sister Freydis is going to the place where they're doing the ritual every single 9 years,
Yes.
that holy place for the Vikings.
It's good rituals we're about to see. They are good at that. Okay, so this is where we are. Let's jump in this episode and see what happens next. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
In the meantime, let's go.
Oh boy, what's gonna happen? Is this season 1, episode 3?
What the fuck?
Okay. It's a little after they got to England. Honestly, he's really handling this well. He seems really calm.
We get a polar bear.
He knows and he knows what his skill is. And battle scenes are always good in fucking Vikings, man.
Leave this place in the name of the one true God.
Dude, they are not demons that you can repel with a cross.
Too slow, pagan.
We gotta remember also, the army is fighting together, but it is still divided. So on top of them wanting glory and money for themselves, it's also the fight between pagans, Christians, who fights, who kills.
Oh yeah, people are hiding.
Allow me to introduce the Lady Kent.
It's like that we're in Kent too, man. After Vikings, I'm like,
Your war is pointless. King Athelred is already dead.
Yes, true.
She's lying.
They want revenge on a man who's already dead, but they are still Vikings. To do all of this and go back home with nothing? I don't think so.
When did he die?
10 days ago.
This is a good thing. Edmund is a boy, and the nobles will not back him to defend London.
I don't know,
I didn't come here for London. I came for Athelred's head.
You're not the only one here, though.
Then I promise you the head of his son.
Why would you want to have the head of someone who is not part of that conflict,
Because if they don't get something, that means all of this was for nothing. But that's when we're gonna see the reasons why they really showed up. Most of them.
Glory, gold.
We know. They said it about Olaf. He's gonna get wealth. He's gonna get, he's gonna expand. There's ideas behind this attack other than revenge.
You did well.
It was King Edmund who brought Striona around.
He was good. But I think the pep talk he gave him before they got there really helped
to
too.
And what about me? You wish me to cower behind these walls until the battle is over?
You are a boy.
Striona will begin the Norse and you will accept their surrender.
No, I intend to join him on the battlefield.
Your Highness is still a king in waiting.
All the more reason to be crowned.
Taking the crown only amplifies the risk.
What risk?
What risk?
Fate and England are forever entwined. If you fall, so does England.
He's never seen battle and it
It is
shows.
better to let Striona take the risk.
And the glory.
You are
With
such a
success,
kid.
would the nobles not look to him as a more suitable option to be king?
He has a
I'll
little
deal with
point
that.
though. A little point. They literally just said that nobles would not follow him because he's a kid. He kind of
Yeah,
needs
so
to prove to them
Prove
that,
his worth.
yeah. But it is dangerous. He's underestimating the Vikings if he thinks there's no, danger.
We are Freydis. We are Vikings. Odin took our measure for Valhalla, and he saw that we were good. You deserve it more than my wife. For one battle, Jarl became the richest man in all Greenland.
Hopefully you go back.
You fought well for your first battle. So now see why my father was so good at killing.
He has it in his blood.
He had practice. I thought Christians were supposed to be merciful. We are, but I'm Viking first. I see little difference. As a Viking, my goal is revenge. And as a Christian, I employ the virtues my savior taught me. Forgiveness, mercy, and love. I forgive this Saxon for following his king into an unholy war. I show him mercy.
By killing him and not letting him suffer.
And what about love? I love doing it.
He's a good example of the two together.
We came here to make the world forget about him and remember you.
I don't know if he thought about that, but it's a
This is
good
the glory
idea.
he promised. So far it looks a lot like his. You will know glory when you reach it, Leif Erikson.
For them, there's definitely a difference between killing because and killing for a cause.
True.
Your dad is a murderer, you have a chance to be a hero. He's not bad. He enjoys
Yeah,
it a bit too much, but
I think that he's a bit arrogant.
he's a bit arrogant. Maybe the pep talk was a little too much. And he's their king. Maybe they're not trying that hard.
True. They don't want to risk to wound him.
I am ready!
No, child, you are not ready. Come on.
You're not ready.
Yeah.
Even your father suffered many failures before he learned how to defeat them.
I'd rather learn from my victories instead of defeats.
You learn better with defeats, though.
Yep.
Do you wish to fight me? Leave us!
I tend to teach you.
Oh, that's about to get good. He's not gonna hold back.
If there's no witnesses, nothing happened.
You do not wish to be embarrassed. In fact,
Oh, you're not smug anymore.
Can you even remember the last time you were defeated?
Be humble. Do not underestimate anyone.
Your soldiers wouldn't dare hurt you, and I don't have that problem.
Yeah, I prefer this. He's helping him more than the others.
It's gonna be worse on the battlefield, man.
Yeah, they won't give a shit. And there will be a lot more than just that.
Yeah.
And all warriors with the idea of killing him.
You are not ready.
Oh, he's good.
You think the Vikings would give you a reprieve?
Nope.
I'm not your enemy, your highness.
You're lucky.
Your arrogance is.
Arrogance and ego
how
are
dare you lecture me on
one.
arrogance when you are its definition?
Fuck off, man.
I control mine.
True, there's a difference.
You must learn to do the same.
Where is the self-doubt from last episode? You changed so much in one
On
night.
the road to Mercia, you counseled me to listen to my instinct.
But not like that.
My instincts now say I should not wait to be crowned king.
The Vikings came here to punish your father. His head is no longer an attainable trophy, but yours is.
He gets it.
Delaying your
hun-
coronation is a
100%,
hedge
dude.
against that possibility.
And I don't think it's your instincts who are telling you to get crowned immediately. I think it's your pride and your fucking, greed.
It's the high from having one victory with one noble.
Yeah.
But it was at a table doing negotiations. Not enough light.
Yeah, he was afraid of it last episode, but this is a bit too much, man. You take a little, but you leave the rest.
It's beautiful here.
What's up, man? Hold on for a necklace. She could have worn it because it's beautiful. He is a beast, man. It's like he's not fazed. She knows how to fight back.
Seriously, who was that guy?
I'm good feeling is he's a fucking Christian who saw the necklace and he got mad, but like...
Tony's gone.
1 minute, we're all
Oh,
there.
yeah. Christian.
What's on his forehead though?
Runes.
Was he tortured?
No, but he got scars. I don't know if he was branded, but he had rune on his forehead.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Maybe he was captured by Vikings and tortured, and that's why he's like that. This show is about questioning everything, and like again, it's always been about no bad side. Like everyone can be the good guy and then the enemy. So.
This is your strategy.
And they're prepared to ambush you right there. They saw that coming.
How do you intend to get an army across that?
There are roads through, and on the other side is the bridge and the south entrance to London. Tonight we will send scouts to see what's changed.
And who will lead them? You?
I was thinking of someone else.
Are you sending Leif? Oh, bitch.
We need to know the enemy's strength around the bridge.
Yeah, of course he's sending him because he, you know, he's pissed at him and his sister. If he dies, that means he gets the sister.
Oh, it's going. I'm telling you, this is gonna become
like
best buddies.
I like Harald, just as a character.
Yeah, me too.
We'll be with you.
We have our friends, but I am afraid they will all die.
I'm afraid that Ulf won't be the richest man of Greenland no more.
I'm sorry, but how is that subtle? I know there's fog, but like torches like this, they would see a big like yellow spot just coming
What's
through.
that? Animals, I guess.
Wouldn't you see that?
See what?
It's got to be the wind.
You know you're near the bridge when you can hear the bells of London.
They're not expecting them to look south, so there's that.
Yeah, but still, you might have guards on.
Yeah.
It's rid of your torches!
Small mercy is it's not the whole army, but it's also not the whole army.
shit.
It's the marshes, it's wet, it's not gonna burn everything, right?
Oh yeah. You kinda need help a bit?
Everyone needs help a bit. He's gonna die, girl. Don't stay behind. Oh, they actually burned quite a bit. We lost a friend and Leif is behind, but now they know that they have traps and stuff, so if they had crossed with the whole army, ugh.
What happened?
They were waiting for us. I think you're exaggerating.
I was there, thank you very much.
Let's go ask the dead. See what they think. Stop! Did you make it to the bridge? No. We learned nothing.
Except perhaps that they're smarter than us.
Change your plans.
Who knows? Maybe Leif will be able to learn something. He's still out there, right?
Yeah, really.
Free or as a prisoner?
It's the king's banner.
It's more than that. It's a dare.
The Vikings are going nowhere.
But why? Because that is my plan. It is time for me to speak. On my trip to Mercia, I convinced Striona not to come to London and to trap them in the marshes.
And you have secured Striona's promise.
I have. But as you know, inviting Mercia into our fight comes with risks. I will need your support to help mitigate those risks.
I see what he's doing. We gotta let him do what he's doing, I guess. Like, he needs their support, so...
Long live King Edmund.
Or maybe that was part of Emma's plan. Just, cut me off
To
and
make them believe that he has Mercia's support?
not make it sound like it's a woman's plan.
I ask to bring forward your coronation. To the Breadwalder!
You have made a grave mistake.
Okay, no.
By giving Edmund a crown, you risk the lives of all of us. You have saddled yourself to an impulsive child.
I disagree. I have saddled myself to the future King of England.
He's playing many
It
fronts.
will be up to us to make this work.
You expect me to help you?
I'm afraid you have very little choice, Your Highness. You have much to gain by Edmund's success, but even more to lose if he fails.
He says things to some and he says other things to others and he manipulates things in the background. I like him to some extent, but this is closing in to manipulation.
It is still too early for me to call him a snake yet.
There's a valid reason why she did not want him to be king now, so he said it himself, so that's why I'm surprised a bit by his turning around.
We're going back for him. If he was alive, he would be out.
Not necessarily.
You're risking our lives for a dead man.
He is dead. We have no reason to be in this stinking country.
True.
You're free to leave whenever you want.
Yeah, not with him left behind like that. They want
my
confirmation.
face is
I'll say it again, but I really like him.
Me too.
He would feel bad maybe. It was his plan to bring him here, so...
Do you want some poultice?
It's a Final Fantasy 16 joke, I'm sorry. On a more serious note, it's a Christian showing some, you know, kind of like, oh, you're dying, maybe you're dying, so here, just...
It's not because you're Christian or you're Viking that you're all good, all bad, you know?
Oh, that's different.
Yeah!
Thank you!
He went back!
I wondered if he would. He seemed like the type.
But what was that little girl doing in the marshes?
Thought I died.
Part of me wonders if she was truly there.
The gods must have a plan for you.
Viking.
I mean, gods and God have all way of showing themselves to the people, so maybe she was,
You could see that as a sign.
yeah.
Cannot fix the Saxons are daring us to attack London from the south.
They've been preparing, so yep, they know how you work.
I don't know, but I want to find out.
They obviously know how you think, so try to do things the way you would not do them. After this, you need to surprise them. I like how he found him half dead, and he's not bringing him back, he's just like, let's go, we have some stuff to do.
His way of meddling in is just like getting rid of his ponytail.
I am no longer a Viking.
I'm Saxons now.
Well, they don't look different, so... And he's got crosses and stuff, so... Yeah.
There's a chance.
Better than nothing.
Who attacked you and your friend? A man on the road to Uppsala. A warrior with a mark on his forehead.
Did they capture him and torture him?
He attacked us without warning. Who is he?
She had a very strong reaction to this.
Oh.
Where is he now? Did he follow you? I killed him. Go to Uppsala now.
Leave your horse behind and take the steep path.
What's going
The
on?
main road is not safe and horse is easily spotted.
He's not alone?
And I'll watch your friend till you return.
Okay, so he's not alone and they're gonna come after her. Nice.
Yeah, if that's that, yeah, they would. We just killed them, so... But if they were other men, wouldn't she just tell her? Why all the secrecy?
What i namnsdag? På Fennick? What gick Western Rina? Make Wednesday?
Yes, he didn't Viking as my Argon his rich.
Good thing he speaks their language.
Took in his bread.
Took in his bride.
Poor baby.
Again, I love when they speak like Old French, Old English, like we
Yeah.
can hear the bits and pieces of actual English. This was another thing I loved in the original Vikings. That just pushes the point of you guys, well, not them, but the Saxons betrayed people who lived here, people who, you know, talked their language, had their traditions, neighbors.
What's the name of that bridge in London?
And it's a London
they're learning.
bridge. That's why they're here.
Are we gonna have a dope fight like in Viking when they invade Paris?
Probably.
Because I remember those traps that the French people had against our men.
Oh, she okay. She said they were targeting pilgrims.
Yeah.
I just hope they're not gonna just show up to the place and somehow find it and attack.
They look like Assassin's Creed.
Pagan.
You're so dramatic. Who are you?
They lead this way.
He is cool looking.
Yeah.
Fight.
Who are you, man?
I'm afraid of him a little bit. I don't know.
He looks badass.
I feel like he's gonna be something. Well, definitely he's gonna be something to Freydis next episode. I am afraid, like, they're gonna track the blood. If they're good at that, they might track it to the little village where we left our friend.
Yeah.
If they are hunting pilgrims, they could still, you know, find Uppsala. Like, they could still show up there. Like, I don't know. They have quite a good number of people. I don't want them to just show... Because, I mean, we have probably warriors over there, but most of them left for England, so... And they're going to show up with swords. It's going to be a massacre. We'll see next episode. Anyway.
Harald. I like him
I like
more.
him very much.
I like him more.
He's a good example of the perfect mix between Viking and Christian. And I do realize, by the way, I keep listening to our conversations and stuff. I keep saying like Vikings and Christians, like it's two separate things, when in fact it would be more like pagans and Christians.
Yeah.
But it's easier for me, I just say it and like it comes up like this: Vikings being the pagans and Christians being the Christians. But
you got Vikings that are Christians, so
it would get confusing.
We should say Christians versus pagans.
I know. Whenever I make that mistake, I am aware of it. It's just that when I don't really think about it, that's how it comes out. So I'm sorry if it gets confusing, but this is what I mean when I say Vikings. I mean pagans. So those and Christians being those that follow Christ.
But what do you think about his way of being a Christian while being a Viking? Because he said that
he's taking liberties.
at first he's Viking. He wants revenge, but as a Christian, he forgive his adversary, his opponent, his enemy.
No, I feel like
show them mercy.
I feel like he's taking liberties a little bit.
He loves showing them mercy, basically.
To be fair, he is pissed. He showed up here for revenge.
Yeah.
He's actually the only one of the main cast who seems to be here for revenge. He had people who he loved that died here, so his reasons for being here, you know, he's being led by his anger. But he manages to control it and he manages to stay calm through that. So I'm not blaming him at all. Like, it's okay, like, to use that as fuel. We will see that the others, right away we saw in this episode, they're not necessarily here for the same purpose. For sure, the king, Canute, you know, I know who he is, by the way. I have read a little bit about history and stuff, so I kind of know what happens to him. I'm guessing he has ambition, and I'm guessing that to use revenge as a good selling point to bring all the Vikings together and bring them here to fight back is great, and it kind of has to be done because you were betrayed. Your families were murdered. It needs to be done in a certain way. Like, you need to show. I believe that you need to show that you can do this shit and
expect no
be free of
consequences.
it. Yeah, even if the actual king who did that is dead, now we know that it's the nobles who pushed him to do that, and the nobles have not been punished at all for this. So England needs to understand that this is what happens when you betray something that, you know, has been standing for years. As sad as it is for those who will suffer the consequences and the innocent that had no say in this treason, in this betrayal. So yeah, it's a shitty situation, but we have to go through it. And if the Vikings did nothing, I feel like that would just entitle the Saxons to do that shit again if they could. Kind of like go back to the age of purging the world of pagans and force everyone to follow their culture, their religion, their way of doing things. So you need to stand your ground. Like, it's not because you're different that it's okay to mistreat you and massacre you. But in the long history of Vikings.
Yeah.
Ambition has been a thing. There's a reason why they traveled to England to begin with. There were things in there that they wanted. We saw it in the battle. They are interested by riches. If they are farmers, they are interested by land. There's always something that they might want, and you don't necessarily live in a place where it's, you know, easy to make a name for yourself because there's already so many players over there. So the idea of spreading and going places and you know, that has a history, and especially one that has just betrayed you, would sound appealing. So I do get the feeling that some of them are here for the idea of, hey, I mean, we'll convince them to come because of revenge, but maybe there's something in it for myself. Harald said that, you know, Canute, he said it to Olaf, like his brother, to convince him to show up, like how Canute was gonna get riches, money and stuff, and he would use that to expand his lands. But that's not just like an idea throwing it around for Olaf's sake. Like, I'm pretty sure he knows Canute, and I don't think it's a crazy idea that this is what he would want to, you know, fight back in England to gain some lands and get control of a part of it. Like, because I don't know, after what they did with Danelaw already being a thing, I don't know if I would sign another treaty of peace with them and be like, okay, like now we're going back to how things used to be, because they betrayed you once, who's to say they're not going to betray you twice. So I think his goal might be to teach them a lesson, kind of establish himself as more than just like a Viking leader. Like, he might want to fucking take control of the place a little bit. It's the sad thing, unfortunately, when you watch a show that's inspired by history like that. It's like, if you look into history, you will know what's going on.
Sure.
But
no, fortunately, I don't know nothing yet about King Canute yet.
I do. When I watched The Last Kingdom, I kind of ended up reading a lot about the history of England and the different kings and like who succeeded who and who fought whom and why. So and after the last 2 episodes, I kind of thought back to what I read and I was like, oh, wait a minute. So, I mean, it could be different. It is Viking. They have changed things. Some characters end up doing stuff that other characters have done. So, like, for example, Leif Erikson, who is definitely destined for greatness, is supposed to discover America, but it's already been discovered. So, what are they going to do with that? I kind of hope that he still gets his chance to become the legend that he is.
Yeah.
Because that would fucking suck if, like, he's there, but he's not given that purpose, or he's not given that chance.
We'll see.
He seems to be favored. Like, I don't really know what that girl was doing in the marshes. At first I thought she might have been an hallucination, but she did give him a cross, so...
Who knows? She might have been a sign from God.
We are also in Vikings, where sometimes stuff happens that we're like,
you cannot really explain them.
Yeah.
But you're not sure if the gods are real, if the gods are not real. You don't know.
Suspension of disbelief sometimes with this show. Like, we have seen some of them have visions. They knew, for example, in Vikings, that Ragnar was dead because Odin fucking showed up.
Do you think that was a sign that maybe he will maybe convert to Christianity in the future?
I feel like I took it more as in the moment. I took it more as you know, when you're in need of help, there's no real difference who you turn to. Kind of like with Ragnar, when he needed his gods, he would follow them. But when he felt that his gods had lost him, or, you know, fucking left him, he found comfort with the Christians, or at least with Athelstan. And when he was lost, he would just fucking turn towards those who gave him an answer, and that helped him a lot. That also confused him a lot. So I always said in Vikings that it doesn't really matter what you were born with. Like, you go with what gives you the answer that you need. So if you find your answers, kind of like Freydis, she is so into her religion. She receives the signs, she hears that, like, she sees the birds and she interprets it as, you know, my gods are with me, and she's fine with that. She's, you know, she wants to see more of that, of her culture. She wants to travel. It works well for her. Perfect. Leif is in a foreign country, surrounded by foreigners, with, you know, some of them being Vikings, but he doesn't really connect with them. Like, he follows their gods, but he doesn't consider himself a true Viking. Like, even his friends were saying, oh, we raided, so we're now true Vikings. Like, it's all new to them, so he might not fit with them, but he also doesn't fit with the Christians because he's not Christian.
It's the fact that since they are settled in Greenland, those people who live there, they created their own type of community, their own type of culture. Yes, they belong to those who stay back, like in Kattegat or in those their homeland basically. But it's true that compared to the others, like Harald, Olaf, Canute,
Like I said, they're not connecting with any sides.
Yeah.
They could, like, given time, that could change, but I took it as a sign that, you know, it doesn't really matter, you're favored by gods. Like, you have luck on your side, and it is a Christian who showed up to help him out. Harald, by the way, I love him. I'll say it again. I love that he's doing things himself, that his goal is noble. Not that, you know, we're not used to Vikings and doing shit for money, but it's kind of a throwback to not heroes, but noble, honest characters, and I like that. I can get behind that more, I feel.
Yeah.
And he's looking out for a boy, and this is nice. But he is a Christian, and he's, you know, they had that discussion of, you know, how do you say you're Viking, but you still practice in Christianity, and how do you, you know, how can you pretend to be a Christian if you're doing this here? And he literally told him his answer, like, no, I mean, I take what I want, and I know who I am. Like, he's not questioning that. So I'm using this episode as maybe Leif is gonna start, you know, changing how he feels. To be fair, I know we've seen Villain Saga, and the Leif Erikson in that show said he wanted to celebrate the birth of Christ, so maybe he will convert.
Maybe.
But that would be interesting, considering his sister's so into Odin and that religion.
It will create probably a divide in the family.
But I feel like this would be the message, though. Again, it's kind of like what we said so much in Vikings. You go with the religion that speaks to you the most. If you want to follow a religion, go with that.
True, but I mean, she got abused by a Christian.
Yes, it's true. Okay.
She got trauma because of a Christian.
Yeah.
So the fact that her own brother
would perhaps,
if he does, basically, will decide to convert and become a Christian because that faith spoke to him, basically.
Yeah.
That's the problem, you know.
When you see it like that, I guess.
But if he does convert to Christianity and his sister is able to forgive him, I don't know, would just be able to not allow him, but to respect his decision and live with him even though he decided to convert.
Because that'll
be good.
I feel like the message here is that Christians and pagans, Vikings, Saxons, Danes, they can exist together. There's no reason to fight each other because of that, and you should embrace differences. Like, it's okay to be one, it's okay to be the other, it's okay to be both in a way. And
you can be ultra
but that's the thing, like, the whole premise right now is that they're being separated, and there's a couple characters in the middle who kind of they try to go by, like, they kind of try to keep everyone together, but the two main characters are kind of outsiders, like I said, who don't really fit with either. But the sister is, you know, finding herself in the pagan Viking culture. So if he finds himself in the other, they could be a good example of you can coexist despite those differences.
True.
But anyway, we'll see.
We will see.
As for England, really quickly, I don't really know about Godwin anymore. I like him as, you know, I like the stuff he says, but I'm now suspicious. I feel like it sounded, I mean, he did just say, like, there's a reason why you're not crowned yet, but then he turned around and he was, like, pushing for that idea with the nobles.
He has ulterior motives, maybe?
There's a reason why Emma didn't like him. We know from last episode that she didn't trust him, and she chose to trust him because she needed allies, and she needed to give allies to Edmund. So
a noble warlord who has ambition is not something new.
Well, I know, but it depends on how he uses that ambition, and we'll see where it goes. But I understand why she didn't want to crown him yet. Like she wanted to protect him as much as possible, and in a way, like he understood it. He understood it too, and he was trying to show him that, you know, you want to be crowned now. You want to get on the battlefield, but you're not ready, and this is basically the reality you're about to face. Those Vikings will not stop, you know, because you're a kid. They will not stop because you're the king. They will get rid of you because you're the king. They'll go for you, and you're not ready because they are warriors. They're not guards trying to, you know, keep you safe and not rough you up. They'll go for your head. So it's good advice to, you know, lose a bit of that arrogance. Don't think of yourself too highly. Like, mix that attitude, that confidence with the not the self-doubt, but the self-reflection of last episode. I think that would be best. And he's young. He's also, like, he's going to make mistakes. You learn from those mistakes, but those mistakes will hit hard.
Yeah.
So he's got to be careful. But it feels like he was really against sending him, like, to the battlefield, and he wanted to follow the plan of Queen Emma. But then when the nobles were together and she spoke the plan, and Edmund was like, "Oh, this is my plan." Like, I kind of like, if it had been her idea, because she said she was going to take care of that, like she was going to take care of the nobles not taking him seriously. So for a sec I was like, maybe that's part of the plan. Have him, you know, take credit, because she kind of understands she is a foreign queen.
Yeah.
And she's a woman. Those nobles did not listen when she warned her husband that, you know, Vikings will retaliate. They still did that shit. They pushed him to do that. They will not listen now, and they were not into the plan when it was her plan, but when he took control, they said yes.
Yeah, but the fact that he decided to be crowned king right now might help the nobles to decide to follow him.
But
because he will be king,
yeah,
not just a kid.
The plan is a good plan, and giving Edmund support is good too, but crowning him now puts a lot of targets on him, and she was saying this was a bad idea, which I understand, and they used that meeting to push for the coronation, and they said yes to that. So now she can do shit because she has no power per se. So I feel like at first, like I said, I thought it could have been part of the plan, but if it was, like, it turned into some crazy situation, and I feel like Godwin took advantage of that to do shit that would help him and not her. So yeah, I'm gonna keep him in my sight.
You're gonna keep an eye on him?
Not to say that I cannot enjoy a character that's also manipulating people or being a turncloak here and there. Like,
it all depends what his motives are. If his motives, because I mean, for example, in Last Kingdom, we had not Halfdan, the one who advised Queen Ethelflaed and King Ethelred. We didn't like him at first,
yeah, I know.
But his motives was Mercia, and he acted for the people of Mercia. So who knows? Maybe Goodwill, his motives would be for the people who live there. You know?
I don't know. I feel like he might not like the queen, and he's trying to play her because, like, he used her words against her a bit in this episode, saying the us and stuff. Where last episode she was saying us, as in we're in this together, in order to kind of bring them up as a whole unit, like, oh, we need each other. And now he's using that to say, like, oh, you're in it now, like, you get back down, which is true, but still it sounded a bit arrogant. So I'm gonna keep him in check a little bit. I'm gonna look at him.
Edmund did call him out the fact that he is also someone who is arrogant, that he has a past of being an
He
arrogant.
also said he was capable of controlling that, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's a difference then.
We'll see. But yeah, so he's interesting. I do like Queen Emma though. I think she's calm. She comes up with great plans. She saw that coming, which is cool. But now, like, yeah, Harald and Leif have gone to the bridge. They've seen the bridge, so they'll come up with something too. Leif especially, like, we saw his face. He was like coming up with something. He definitely has some great strategies.
Yeah, he's smart.
He's smart and he's good.
But seriously, I do hope that we're gonna have a bridge fight. Just like
we're gonna have a good fight.
Yeah.
They're good with fights in this show. It's always been a good thing. Like, visuals and battle scenes were always their forte, so...
But seriously, like, I don't know if you recall, but in Viking, when they invaded Paris, on that bridge,
I don't know if you could... It's the big episode of Paris. Yes, I do recall.
It was so good.
I don't think they will have that here. They are literally in a place that has been abandoned for a while.
True.
They came up with stuff, but it's not going to be that.
I can't wait to see what they come up with.
they didn't have much time.
We'll see.
I don't know. But it's gonna be a good battle. For sure. We'll see. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching it with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't want to, the next one will be on YouTube next week. So,
Yes.
see you then, guys.
Bye!